Good Friday evening, October 18th, and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. The Wenatchee Valley Humane Society has a new executive director. We'll let you know who it is. A fundraiser for the Chelan County Justice Center's drug-sniffing canine is underway. Our temperatures will climb to near 70 degrees this weekend, but rain showers are coming along with it. I'll have your local weather forecast coming up. A Bridgeport man was sentenced Thursday to about 4.5 years in prison for his part in a gang-related gunfire incident back in August. 28-year-old Rosendo Saucedo pleaded guilty in Douglas County Court to charges of drive-by shooting and unlawful firearm possession and admitted to being a member of a gang. Judge Brian Huber imposed a prison term of 54 months. Saucedo was one of 3 men arrested in a reported shooting that took place August 11th in the area of Highway 173 and Richards Avenue. No one was hurt in that incident. Saucedo has a previous conviction for residential burglary and was barred from possessing a gun. His plea helps him avoid trial on more serious charges, including first-degree assault. The 2 other suspects in that case still await trial. The Wenatchee Valley Humane Society has a new executive director. B.J. Anderson, who has 20 years of experience in animal welfare, will now head the nonprofit. Anderson comes to Wenatchee after serving as director of the Willamette Humane Society in Salem, Oregon for almost 10 years, where she negotiated a merger with Oregon Humane Society. After the merger, Anderson became the senior philanthropic advisor to the president and CEO, and then the director of volunteer engagement, where she managed 1,300 volunteers across 2 campuses. Anderson takes over for former director James Pumphrey, who left the organization in June. Washington State University is launching a fundraising campaign for a new plant growth facility at the Wenatchee Tree Fruit Research Center. The state-of-the-art space for tree fruit research will replace a 70-year-old structure. WSU says the new facility will ensure ongoing innovation through year-round disease research and stress experiments and help attract and retain top scientists and students. The new facility will double existing greenhouse space and improve conditions for experiments. College leaders and scientists will host a free kickoff event from 3:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Tuesday, October 29th at the Wenatchee Tree Fruit Research Center, and that's at 1100 Northwestern Avenue. The Board of Commissioners runs Chelan County, but who runs the commissioners? Kathy Mulhall is the Chelan County Administrator, appointed by the board as an overall manager of county operations, and she spent 28 years in that role. Commissioners are in the midst of their 2025 budget process. On the latest Chelan County Connection podcast, Mulhall says the financial challenges facing the county get a little more severe each year.
I would say the biggest hurdle we have is our revenues. Chelan County is like all other counties in that we have, revenue issues, and revenue issues caused by the idea that we are capitated on our property taxes. We only can gain our property taxes by 1% a year, and that is our biggest source of revenue to the general fund, which is the fund that has the most activity for the county overall. And each year, as we sort of clamp down on that cap, we end up, having a harder time and harder time. I feel like that hurdle gets a little bit taller each year as we go through that.
When we come back, stopping the spread of invasive species is really about cleaning up after ourselves. So the city of Wenatchee has installed new boot brush stations at major trailheads. And Grace Lutheran Church is inviting the community to join them for what they're calling Bonhoeffer Weekend. We'll tell you more about that coming up. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Hi, I'm Mike Steele, and I've been honored to serve you as our state representative for District 12 for the last 8 years. With experience in several leadership roles in civic organizations, as well as being a lifelong resident, I've championed projects that have made a difference in our community. I plan to continue the progress we've made together.
Re-elect Mike Steele, your voice in Olympia. Together we can achieve more. Visit votemikesteele.com. Paid for by the citizens to elect Mike Steele.
Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, located on South Wenatchee Ave, has the largest selection of spas and swim spas in town. Stay cool this summer in an artesian swim spa and use it all year long. We enjoy helping families reconnect one spa at a time. Hot tubs are proven to improve sleep and decrease arthritis pain. Our passion is water, so please bring us a water sample, and we will help you diagnose your pool or spa water for free. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, your pool and spa experts.
It's true. Health Alliance and Assurus Northwest Medicare Advantage plans are terminating coverage, and they will no longer be available for you beginning January 1st, 2025. So you have two big options. One, join one of the two new Medicare Advantage plans, WellCare or Humana. Or number two is go back to original Medicare and join a supplement and a Part D drug plan. But there's so much more to discuss here, so here are some suggestions to get you started. Go to our website or call your local Springwater Insurance office for more information.
How do you think like an entrepreneur?
I have had it in mind starting my own business. This is all really good to know right now. I am currently making a vision board. I am talking about my well-being, my personal finances, and habits that I would like to work on and to improve myself to be a better entrepreneur.
Stopping the spread of invasive species is really about cleaning up after ourselves. The city of Wenatchee has installed new boot brush stations at major trailheads, allowing hikers to scrape their footwear clean of any invasive hangers-on while entering or leaving the Sage Steppe area. You'll find one boot brush installed at the Kenzie's Landing trailhead and another at the entrance to Saddle Rock. The stations are funded by the U.S. Forest Service, the Washington Invasive Species Council, and the North American Invasive Species Management Association. A fundraiser for the Chelan County Justice Center's drug-sniffing canine is underway. Canine Gambit is a 4-year-old border collie mix trained to detect 6 odors, including fentanyl, who has conducted 204 searches between the jail, area schools, and other facilities. The canine program at the jail is supported by donations and fundraisers for additional training, equipment upkeep, and general care for Gambit. This year's fundraiser features Gambit on t-shirts and hoodies that come in a few different colors at $30 for a t-shirt and $40 for a hoodie. A link to the fundraiser can be found on the Chelan County website or on NCWLIFE.com. Grace Lutheran Church is inviting the community to join them for what they're calling Bonhoeffer Weekend. German Lutheran pastor and theologian Dietrich Bonhoeffer opposed Nazism and was executed by Nazis in 1945 for his attempt to assassinate Adolf Hitler. This weekend's educational series will be hosted by Pastor Dr. Mark Brocker, and it will focus on Bonhoeffer's ethics combined with courage and humility. The workshop will be held tomorrow, October 19th at 10 a.m., and a lecture on the political responsibility of the church is scheduled for 7 p.m. There will also be an adult forum at noon following Sunday's sermon, and more information can be found on Grace Lutheran Church's website. NCWLIFE's Dan Kuntz met with the event organizers to learn more.
It is an entire weekend of lectures, workshops, and a special sermon by a visiting theologian. Dr. Brocker will be here on Sunday the 20th for a special sermon. Let's do this chronologically. Let's talk about the workshop first of all. It's entitled With Courage and Humility, Bonhoeffer's Ethical Approach for Us Today. The message still rings true today after all these many years.
For sure.
Pastor James?
Yeah, Dr. Brocker wants to bring some of the perspectives, or we could even say principles, that Bonhoeffer was using in his writings, and help a community at the Saturday morning workshop to apply or to struggle together, really, about how do we look at perhaps some current issues or contemporary problems from those lenses. And so he'll provide a lot of historical background, but also his goal is to help these words come alive or to remain alive as we consider what does a faithful response to the world look like.
Coming up next in tonight's feature story, we look at the two candidates in the race to replace Douglas County Commissioner Kyle Steinberg, a Republican leaving office after 2 terms. Much warmer with rain this weekend, then dry and much cooler next week. I'll have all the details coming up in your full local weather forecast. That and much more still to come tonight. Please stay with us.
We in Northeast Washington are proud of our small town heritage, but Olympia's one-size-fits-all policies have made life here more difficult. I'm former Mayor Suing Moody, and for the past 13 years, I've fought for the needs of the people of Twisp in the face of disaster. Now, I'm looking to bring my record of strong leadership to Olympia as your state representative, to preserve the way of life our families have enjoyed here for generations. I'm Suing Moody, and I'm asking for your vote, because we shouldn't have to give up anything to live here, and we won't.
At Abby's, it's kind of simple. We're not rocket scientists. We just make great pizza. When you're ready for traditional values, time with your family, and a great meal, you're invited to Abby's. Order at abbys.com. Our family is here for your family. It's fall. Want a great value that doesn't involve pumpkin spice? Try Abby's Barbecue Chicken Pizza. Save and enjoy a pizza with loads of quality toppings to the edge. Your taste buds and your wallet will thank you. Enjoy Abby's October Special at a very special price.
I'm Keith Gaynor, running for your next 12th District State Senator. It's been a privilege to serve you the past 6 years in the House of Representatives. I believe public safety is a critical issue that affects all of Washington. This should be one of our highest priorities. Washington families are struggling. Housing, food, and gas prices are severely affecting our budgets. We need to find better ways to support our families. Together, we can build a better Washington.
Hi, this is Brad Hawkins, and I'm running to be your next Chelan County Commissioner. I'm very proud to have grown up in Wenatchee, and now to be raising a family of my own here. From Washington Elementary to Washington State Capitol, I've gained valuable experiences in my life and career, and I look forward to bringing it to the county. Serving as a county commissioner is a complex job. We need and deserve a proven, experienced leader. I'd be honored to have your vote.
Well, by now your ballot is probably sitting on the kitchen table waiting for your vote. Before you fill in those circles, take some time to catch up on our election interviews with candidates around Chelan and Douglas counties. They're available in full on our website, NCWLIFE.com. Tonight, we look at the race to replace Douglas County Commissioner Kyle Steinberg, a Republican leaving office after 2 terms. Rock Island Mayor Randy Agnew is running for that office as a Republican against independent candidate Paula Lamanna. We asked both of them about how past experience factors into the job of county commissioner.
You feel like being the mayor of a town like Rock Island would translate well to governing a county? Do you feel like you could slot those skills in easily as commissioner?
To a large degree, yes. Obviously, there will be things to learn as a county commissioner. There's some things they do slightly different than we do, certainly on a much bigger scale. But as far as what a county does, you know, maintaining roads and building applications, land services, all that stuff, the city does that on a smaller scale. And I think we've been pretty successful in Rock Island. And in fact, as the city of Rock Island, we have a water system. The county doesn't do water. We have a sewer system. The county doesn't do sewer. And unlike the county, we don't have any money to actually be able to do anything. So we have to go work with the state and grants, loans, that sort of thing to get the funding. TIB, Transportation Improvement Board, they fund roads. So I've, again, being a small city, I have a grand total of 7 employees. So I don't have 50 staff members to say, here, handle this. I had to be personally involved. And So I have a pretty good idea of how those things, I've learned over the last year, nine years, how those things work, the process, which is annoying.
Now, Paula, this would be your first elected position if you're elected. This is your first time running for any office. Your opponent has served as mayor for a number of terms in Rock Island, where you live. Do you think there'll be too much learning on the job if you were elected, or do you feel like you can adapt quickly?
I usually adapt very quickly. I jumped into owning my own business, brick and mortar, everything, without, I have a business degree. That's my degree, is business in agricultural sciences. But doing it and learning it are two different things. And I learned on the fly, and I was very successful. And I'm very confident in my ability to learn because I'm not afraid to ask questions. If I don't know something, I won't pretend I have an answer, because I don't. And they always say that path to wealth and intelligence is paved, so you just need to take that path. Ask those questions.
My final question for you, Randy, as a closer, for 1 minute, why should people vote for you for county commissioner?
I think the number one reason they should vote for me is because I do represent the people. I've made that clear to my staff all the time I've been mayor, and as anybody who's seen me on boards, various boards around town, I express my opinion, and my opinion is from the perspective, in my belief, of the citizens. What's best for them. And I will continue to do that as a county commissioner. Also, I have 9 years of experience doing this.
In about 1 minute, can you tell me why people should vote for you for Douglas County Commissioner?
Because I have an eclectic array of abilities and, like I said, project management experience, natural resources and rehabilitation experience. I've worked with the PUD and the dams and done work for permitting for Fish and Wildlife. I've done biological evaluations for docks, helped to implement docks in houses. I know our community very well, and I love people, and I just want to bring our community a little tighter than it is. I know we have it.
Time now to take a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope your work week ended well. It wasn't a bad day out there, even though we did see increasing clouds this afternoon. And boy, this was the situation mid-afternoon up at Lake Wenatchee, where showers moved in, some low clouds and fog up that way. And that's headed our direction, and we will experience some of that throughout our evening hours, maybe even into our overnight hours. And we'll talk more about that coming up. But for our forecast for the weekend, boy, we are in for a nice warm-up. High temperatures in the 60s, and look at that, even some lower 70s around our area. We will see some morning showers Saturday, and then a good chance for rain as we get into Saturday afternoon and Saturday night, all with that warm-up before we cool down next week. We're talking highs next week only in the low to mid 50s with lows, in the 20s and 30s. So fall will return after a nice warm up this weekend. 51 our official high temperature today, well below where we should be for this time of year. 59 is normal. 72 our record high, and that was set in 1974. 39 this morning, and that's pretty much in line. In fact, it is in line with our normal low of 40 degrees. 26 is our record, and that was set in 1982. Sun came up this morning at 7:25 and will set tonight at 6:06. Your Saturday temperatures, and boy, nice warm up. Almost 70 for Moses Lake and Ephrata. 69's there. 68 in Quincy. See a beautiful 67 in Wenatchee. 66 in Entiat. A little cooler in Chelan at 65, but even Lake Wenatchee tomorrow will see a high temperature of 62 degrees. But keep in mind, we will see those scattered showers around. Tonight, there is an area of high pressure that's moving all of that warm air our direction. At the same time, an area of low pressure is moving down, and that's what will keep those showers going tonight. They will be likely tonight with low temperatures in the mid-40s. And here we go, Saturday morning. There are those rain showers we expect, probably between 7 and 10 a.m. on Saturday, clearing up a little bit in the afternoon, and a big warm-up with highs in the mid to upper 60s on Saturday. Getting into Sunday, here's that area of low pressure, and that's going to bring a little wind with it. The frontal boundary extending across northwestern part of Washington state. But by the evening hours, there we go. We're going to see about a 70% chance of rain. Highs during the afternoon, almost 70 degrees on Sunday. And then the bottom falls out of our temperatures as our airflow goes back to a northwesterly flow. Going to see some breezy conditions Monday, much cooler. High temperatures to start off our next work week in the upper 50s. So we're going to cool down about 10 to 12 degrees. For Tuesday, lots of sunshine in our forecast, but we're going to stay chilly with even a northern influence in our airflow on Tuesday with highs only in the mid 50s. By the time we get to Wednesday, not much change. Mostly sunny skies, maybe a wisp of cloudiness out there Wednesday. Going to see high temperatures in the mid to upper 50s. And by the time we get into the end of our forecast, look at this storm, and it will affect us by the time we get into next weekend. But Thursday, really not too bad. Mostly sunny and seasonal with high temperatures in the upper 50s. All right, your 7-day forecast. 44 overnight tonight, morning rain showers tomorrow, warming up to 67 in the afternoon. A nice day for Sunday. We're going to be cloudy and mild, and then rain will move in, a 70% chance of it. Almost 70 for our highs Sunday, cooling to 58 with mostly cloudy skies on Monday, and then a couple of days of sunshine. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, pretty seasonal. High temperatures in the mid to upper 50s. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
A ductless unit from Carrier can keep anyone comfortable. Take Shelly, for instance. She finds me time in her new attic-turned-home gym. And with her Carrier ductless unit, the temperature is always perfect. No matter how intense her workout gets. Carrier. Total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
We see that we're losing a lot of really talented individuals. And some of those individuals, it's a direct result of a toxic work environment. That's not what we are being told, of course. The way that I perceive how we're supposed to understand this is that they're just moving on to other opportunities.
The Husky women's softball team is coming to Wenatchee. They'll play 2 games tomorrow at Wenatchee North Rotary Field on the campus of Wenatchee Valley College. First game at noon against the Knights. Second game at 2 o'clock against Edmond CC. These games were originally scheduled to be played in Seattle, but the weather forecast forced them to move to Wenatchee. Again, that will be tomorrow. Well, a battle of highly ranked volleyball teams went to the visitors last night in Ellensburg. The second-ranked Wenatchee Panthers overcame a first-set loss to top-ranked Ellensburg to win it 3-1. The Bulldogs took a back-and-forth opening set by a final of 25-23. Wenatchee came back to win the next 3 sets, 25-15, 25-15, and 25-18 to remain unbeaten on the season. Ellensburg dropped to 11-2 with the loss. Kashmir captured the SCAC regular season title with a 25-14-16-10 win over Natchez Valley last night. Sela swept Quincy 25-7, 11-11. Ephrata topped Othello after losing the first 2 sets 3-2. Eastmont knocked off Sunnyside in 3 sets 25-9, 12, and 16. And after dropping the first set 26-24, how about Moses Lake? They beat West Valley in the next 3 sets 25-17, 26-24, and 25-14. Chelan swept Okanagan while Tonasket took care of Cascade in the small schools last night. Manson beat Brewster. Patera swept Garden City Academy. Cascade Christian topped Oroville 3-1. Wilson Creek also with a 3-1 win over Thorpe. On the soccer pitch last night, Quincy blanked Chelan 3-0. Tonasket took the regular season Central Washington League crown with a 1-0 win over Okanagan. Cascade beat Brewster 8-0. Pateras down Lake Roosevelt 3-1. Bridgeport Bridgeport beat Oroville 6-3. Cashmere won the regular season SCAC title by downing Natchez Valley by a final of 3-1. Well, it's homecoming night for the Wenatchee Panthers when they host the Davis Pirates. We'll have the game live on the NCWLIFE channel beginning with our pregame at 6:30. Coach Taylor Mitchell says they've had a good week of practice despite the potential for distractions during homecoming week.
I think it's been fine. I think the kids have been focused all week at practice. I think it's great for them to be able to go and enjoy different events during the week, and obviously this weekend with a lot of their classmates and peers. But here on the football field, I think the kids have done a good job of staying focused all week at practice and just worrying about football while we're out here practicing in the afternoons.
Senior linebacker Logan Lamb says they've been working on their tackling technique this week to prepare for a load when they face Pirate running back Lance McGee.
Yeah, we just got to stay low. He's a very good running back. He's a big dude. Got to get low and get them ankles, because if we try and hit him head on, he's going to run us over. So.
How do you practice for that with a guy like that? Because I don't know if you've got a running back. I mean, Finn's a good-sized kid, but, you know, it's different, right?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot different than any of the running backs here. Most of our guys are more shifty and small rather than just big and brute. But we've been working really a lot on staying low and attacking the ankles and lower tackles, so that's how we've been preparing.
Davis and Wenatchee kick off here at 7 o'clock on the NCWLIFE channel. The big game of the weekend will be at Lions Field and Moses Lake tonight, where the Mavericks host Eastmont in a showdown for the top spot to the Big Nine. Eastmont forced Maverick quarterback Brady Jay to throw 4 interceptions a year ago. Wildcat coach Jay Foster says they'll have to try to fool him again tonight.
Yeah, the bottom line, we have to make him uncomfortable. We have to make him do things that he doesn't want to do. We have to show him ghosts, you know, get him to throw us the football for whatever reason. Our front has to be able to get to him, and we've been, you know, knock on wood up to this point, we've been pretty good at getting after quarterbacks, and that has to continue. So, I mean, it's going to be a complete game because we can't let them be on the field for 80 snaps either. So we have to shorten the game, you know, on the offensive side of the ball by running the football, doing the things that we do, get the clock run down. We have to control the ball. You know, the more we can keep it out of his hands, the better chance we've got.
Eastmont and Moses Lake have been the top 2 teams of the Big Nine over the past few seasons. Junior running back Bodie Yale says the Wildcats have to limit their mistakes and keep their emotions in check.
It's going to take a lot of focus and patience because there's going to be some calls that don't go our way. It happens every year. But definitely patience and not like yelling and getting mad at everybody. It's definitely important because we don't want that 15 yards added onto like 3rd and 10, make it 3rd and 25, or get a first down maybe, you know, ruins it. Like that's why the Post Falls game, we really struggled with it because we had, over 100 yards and penalties. It's not going to win games.
Eastmont and Moses Lake kick off at 7 o'clock. Rest of the Big Nine finds West Valley at Eisenhower, while Sunnyside is hosting Hanford. CWAC play, Ephrata visits Toppenish, while Quincy is on the road at Grandview. Sela hosts East Valley. Prosser's at Othello. Ellensburg plays host to Zilla. Cashmere also celebrates homecoming tonight with Connell in town. Royals at Walook. Cowan Benton visits Wapato. Natchez Valley plays at College Place. Chelan visits Omak in Caribou Trail League play. Cascade is at Medical Lake for a non-league game. 2B football kicks off early. Okanagan already playing against Brewster. Bridgeport plays at Pateras. Liberty Bell hosts Lake Roosevelt at 7, while Tonasket is at Manson. The 1B games tonight, Entiat at Soap Lake at 7 o'clock. Easton hosts Clallam Bay tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Waterville Mansfield plays at Moses Lake Christian tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Have a great weekend.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more news from around North Central Washington, you can find us at ncwlife.com, on our social media channels, or on our mobile app for iPhone and Android. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. Email us at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us, and have a great weekend.
huge portions of people who have real institutional knowledge have left in the last year. People who are from this community, who have grown up in this community, who would have stayed and worked at Wenatchee Valley College for our entire careers. And we're talking about women who have deep roots in these communities, whose children have gone to Running Start on this campus. I left because of a pervasive, systematic devaluing of women at the college.